Grenade Free Gaming Podcast number 21 with me. Michael. I almost fucked it up. But, and like always, we have Spencer.
Yo.
Knight.
Mike fucked up again.
Your mic fucked up? I don't know.
No. You, as in you, Mike, fucked up again.
Alright, well, I mean, editing can fix wonders and amazing things. But then we got McKinley over here, too. We can't forget about him.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I guess he's
It's
tired.
a Yeti.
I don't know. He seems tired, I guess. So,
Someone saw the Spec Ops trailer.
That's great. That was hilarious, actually. That was
Thank you.
funny. But, no, that is one of the topics we got. We're going to be talking about the Spec Ops trailer that was released this week. We have the Skyrim at QuakeCon. What else do we got? We have Borderlands 2 images, and then we have the Counter-Strike, the new Counter-Strike game that was announced today, I want to say. Was it announced on...
I don't know.
Late yesterday.
Late yesterday?
I believe so.
Yeah, that would make more sense. No news is really released on Saturdays. So I guess we could run with Spec Ops first. And I want to say everyone watched that trailer, right?
Yes.
Yes?
No.
Oh, okay. I guess Knight didn't. But,
No.
so did anyone else feel like, oh, this is going to be an amazing co-op experience, or...
So, I mean, I think everybody knows my views on Black Ops and Call of Duty in general. It's repetitive, unoriginal. I don't know how they keep getting away with making the same game once a year and charging me $60 for it.
Man.
And I have sworn off of it. I mean, you essentially just run around with a gun attached to your nose and you shoot at little guys. And there's no chance for anybody that's, if you see the dude first, he's dead. So there's no real skill, and people are always hiding in the shadows, exploiting the game like we saw with the 501 kills and 8 death game by some guy spawn trapping. But as I was watching the Spec Ops things, I realized, wow, it's awful, and I try not to like Call of Duty. It's like meth. I was twitching. I was tweaking. I wanted to play it, and by the end of the video, I had decided I was probably going to buy Modern Warfare. 3?
Really?
Yeah.
You haven't even seen the multiplayer yet. You're just...
Yeah, that's the kind of effect that it's like meth. It's like, I can't describe it because I know what's wrong with the game. Yet as I'm sitting there watching and my hands are like, I got to get my hand on my controller, got to play it. Seeing those little numbers pop up. I mean...
They're green now. Yeah.
Oh, they're green now, I know. That was just... they're green. And did you see how neat they were? They were just very precise, like little... like numbers on a calculator. They look really nice.
It was the same
so, yeah,
design as the last.
that's my opinion. It's crap, we all know it, but for some reason, we love it anyway.
Because it's smooth? Like, you really love the co-op and smoothness and the shooting and everything is done well to you? What's drawing you back?
Excuse me, I didn't mean to speak for you, Michael.
Oh, no.
Okay. I just listed the things that but yeah, I don't know what it is about the franchise, because I can laundry list of problems I have with it, yet I'm still there, day one, $60 in hand, saying, hey, get me one of those.
There's got to be a reason for it, right?
Well, dude, personally, I think it came off as their take on like zombies. Instead of zombies, it's just more soldiers. I mean, it looked like it was just a horde mode, really.
Did you see the heavy? Well, yeah, I mean,
yeah, the Juggernaut.
Gears sort of started that, and everybody's. Yeah, they had a heavy in it, so there's going to be some classes and whatnot. So I mean, yeah, it was.
I don't know.
And those numbers.
Dude, it wasn't.
100,
I don't think
200,
it was that great.
300. Yay!
Dude, it looked honestly. So I don't know. I've seen it before. This time, it's going to take more to convince me. I'm not that needy for another Call of Duty. I just find, like you said, prior to your, love fest for the Spec Ops, I find it repetitive. I did see the trailer. I didn't really get that urge again. I don't know. I've definitely lost a lot of love for it after it coming out every single year. I think I've just been fatigued from the franchise. That's just my personal view. I mean, obviously, you might be out there picking it up day one, but I mean, with this type of Christmas time game spree that's coming around the corner, I think I'll be busy with other games.
Like Uncharted 3?
Yes, Uncharted, Resistance, Gears of War, Assassin's Creed, Batman.
I love that. Everything but Skyrim, the game of the year. You're going to mention every damn thing but Skyrim. Okay, I see that.
Okay, we'll get to that in the next segment. Mm-hmm. But anyways, warm off, or what are your...
My thoughts? It's probably a rent. That's about it. I don't know. But I've said that before. I think I said that about Black Ops when it was coming out, and then I was like, man, everyone has this game. And then next thing I knew, I had it for PS3 and Xbox 360.
And that's what they're planning on.
Is Call of Duty even a rental type of game? I mean, you get it for multiplayer, and the multiplayer, if you're into that, it lasts forever. I mean, I can't picture people really being satisfied with a rental. I mean, once you go rent it, you're probably just going to go buy it out.
Well, now when I play any of the Call of Duty games, I usually play it for probably like 3 matches, and then I get pissed off, and then I just quit the game.
Oh.
I don't know. So, I don't know, unless they really change the multiplayer, which I think in the Spec Ops trailer, didn't they show a shot, like a 3-second clip of the multiplayer?
No, I don't know. It all just
like at the very end, like after they flashed Modern Warfare 3, it showed like this guy killing this guy, and it didn't look like a computer AI name. I might have to check it again. But it looked like, because they were teasing for the big reveal down in LA during, I think, September. I think.
Well, aren't you more excited for Battlefield multiplayer and that stuff? I mean,
yeah, I'm excited for a lot of games that's coming out. I'm not really excited for Modern Warfare 3, no, but yes, there are other games like Battlefield that I'm excited for because I've played every Battlefield game, even the ones before, like when I could actually were good at first-person shooters. That's like a different topic, but yeah, that's my thoughts on Spec Ops on Modern Warfare 3. I don't know.
Knight, what are your views on your Call of Duty in general? Because you
I'm pretty sure meth is bad. Call of Duty is bad. And I don't need to play either one of them. I don't need to fuck with either one of them to know that I don't like that. I really don't like Call of Duty. Plain and simple. Like McKinley was saying, it's the same shit every year. It's the same stupid bastards that buy Madden every year going, oh wow, they actually tweaked it this year. No, they didn't. It's just, it's the same shit, different year. Same thing with the basketball game, same thing. They just keep producing the same product, and people keep lining up like cattle, like wallets with eyes. Just can't wait to throw that money down. And they'll even throw money down for shit that they should have included in the game anyway, but they held it back just so they could sell it separately for $15.
$150 collector's edition.
Fuck you. Anyway.
Ooh, he's got a 14-inch statue.
Yeah, it does. It certainly does. But how many goddamn years has it been since the last Elder Scrolls game? What, 6? Yeah, fuck you. Okay.
Yeah, like half my lifespan.
It's not like I bought Elder Scrolls, 2.7 like 6 months ago, like you assholes did. Okay. So it's gonna be, it's gonna sell. We all know it's gonna sell.
Probably highest.
What I'm wanting to see is what sells more. Is it going to be, Modern Warfare 3, or is it going to be Battlefield 3?
It's going to be Modern Warfare 3.
I think so, too, but...
it has the 12-year-old appeal.
No, what I found interesting with the trailers, it was sort of introducing a sort of... We saw the big, for Modern Warfare 3, the big action set piece. Ooh, we're on a boat going fast, and there's stuff blowing up, and there's, shoom, bang, boom, boom, fireworks, whatever, buildings falling. That was Modern Warfare, and then we saw Battlefield, which was tanks slowly moving, rumble, 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 rumble.
Well, I don't know.
Hold on, I'm not making it a negative. I'm wondering if that is sort of, if that's sort of a view of how each game is going to play and where the developers put their focus. You see what I'm saying? Whereas where Battlefield 3 might have a slower pace, punctuated by but with, I don't know how to describe what I'm trying to...
Battlefield is for the big boys.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that... Well, yeah, that is kind of what I'm saying. That I'm saying...
what I'm saying? Oh, wait.
Exactly what I'm... I'm just used to disagreeing with him offhand.
Thanks.
And so I'm wondering if Battlefield 3 is just going to have a lot of more subtle things, as you play the game, that you'll actually have to stop and notice. And I don't think one is better than the other. Whereas, Modern Warfare 3 is very in your face, and they're just throwing it at you, saying, look at me. And, and Battlefield might be like, hey, take your time, think about it.
I don't know. I think one thing that worries me about Battlefield 3, I think they're speeding it up more than previous ones because they're adding team deathmatch, which will be like on a much smaller map, probably with like 16 to. They might do the whole 24 players because they did that in Medal of Honor. DICE did, anyways. I don't know. So it's like worrying me that they might make it too fast paced, and they're trying to bring in a lot of those people from Call of Duty.
I think the biggest problem from a sales standpoint is that stuff like Call of Duty, you're getting it not only because you want to play it, but there's a lot of people who get it, because their friends are all on it. And if you're going to try and get Battlefield, the first thing you want to do is get your friends to migrate over to that game. So I think if enough people cannot get their friends to decide, okay, maybe I'll try Battlefield out, that I think it's going to have a problem competing with Modern Warfare.
If you had to choose between two prostitutes, would you actually choose the one that all your friends have fucked?
That's completely different.
How long have you been sitting on that, just waiting for a conversation like this?
I just came up with that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, then my hat is off.
I think on the fly, sir. Thank you very much.
All right, so,
seriously.
I mean, we were talking about Spec Ops, and then we went into the whole Battlefield versus Modern Warfare.
I don't know, I think Spec Ops fine. I think Spec Ops is a lackluster version of Zombies. I mean, it looked just like a horde mode, and Zombies was fun in Black Ops, but yeah. I think they're just trying to recapture that magic. I think everything's going to come from the multiplayer. Spec Ops, people could give a shit about Spec Ops.
It definitely looks like...
About single player.
I like Spec Ops in the last game, though. I like
I enjoyed
the ghillie suit one. The sniper one, that was awesome.
It was not as popular as the multiplayer.
Yeah, right. So, Skyrim is the next topic, and it was at QuakeCon because the whole Bethesda and id thing leaked onto the internet, and there's videos scattered around that still have it up, but a lot of the, like YouTube, a lot of places on YouTube it was taken down, right? So,
yeah, they didn't want people watching it.
They actually came out and said there was not going to be a demo of any kind for Skyrim because they wanted people to experience it, have their minds blown when they finally bought the game.
I think maybe even a little bit more than that also is when you're dealing with a game that's as big as Skyrim and they give you a demo which is, the longest demo I've ever played is what? An hour and a half, maybe. Yeah. So, I mean, you're not going to get a good... if you played an hour and a half of Skyrim and they wouldn't really be able to show you all that's in the game, so you might leave not quite convinced.
Right.
And one of the worst things about that, I mean, you're going to spend an hour playing a demo, and then you start from scratch again on your new file. I mean, people don't want to do that. Like games like that, I agree with McKinley. They don't demo well at all. So I think it's a smart move having.
Instead of a demo, they should just let you play like the first hour of the game to see if you're going to get into it.
But I mean, do they really want? Do you want to play an hour, build up your character for that hour?
I'm just saying, once you get the game, then you can pick up from where you left off. Like
that'd be good.
Like reading the first 5 pages of a book or something. You go, this is going to be pretty interesting. I think I can get into this. You buy the game and you just keep on.
How much could they show off in an hour? They'd have to get you attached pretty quick.
That's irrelevant. Pretty much, if you're going to play the demo, you're probably going to want to play the game. So, I mean, it's just.
I still think it's a business decision because it could turn people. And I mean, I get what you're saying that people know people. It's not like this is this new thing called Elder Scrolls. What's this? Let me try this out. I mean, it's everybody freaking knows what it is. But there is. I mean, I guess someone just said
it's like
for
Zelda,
those few people. Yeah.
If you're a Zelda fan, you're going to buy the new Zelda regardless. And there's the fan base, and then there's the additional people like you, McKinley, who said you caught Skyrim fever. Isn't
your mom gave it to me, actually.
Well, anyways, so almost all of us have seen the lead gameplay, right, at QuakeCon?
I warned you about that in your post.
Yeah.
QuakeCon, yes.
Yeah, and probably one of the cooler things that they added into the game is, well, there's a lot of things, but the finisher moves that the guy was doing on enemies that he was fighting, like, I can't remember what he's doing. He, like, stabs Wolf and, like, kicks it.
Yeah, he kicks its head up and then, like, brings the sword down on top of its head. And then the best one, though, was at the end with the dragon. where he like jumps up and hits it with the axe.
I mean, I don't want to say they're like stealing this idea, but when I saw that part, I was just thinking Dragon Age Origins in my head when he like finished off the dragon and he like jumped up.
Yeah, they do that. Well, that's like every game.
Well, I know, but that
I mean,
was the game that like
thinking.
it got related to in my mind when I watched it. But what else did they show? The leveling system with the constellations is how you're gonna level.
Yeah.
That's very sick. And every new star that you click on, when you're leveling up, it gives you a new attribute or ability.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because I think that's like why it's sort of inaccessible at times, RPGs. And they said they were cutting it down, it's down to to 8 skills. Because, I mean, they'll give you, intelligence and whatnot, but intelligence doesn't really relate to anything. Intelligence raises your magic. And so, I mean, when they just sort of overcomplicate things, it can be a turn-off. So I like how they're still an RPG, but they're actually just, trimming the fat, essentially, things you don't
It got a
need.
little crazy in Oblivion, though. Like, for every single stat, you had a different... In order to increase your agility, you had to go around jumping like a retard for 17 straight hours. Just everywhere you went, jump, It got a little sick after a while, but, as much as I love Oblivion, and I do, casting the same damn spell over and over and over and over and over 5,000 times in a row just to up your healing ability is kind of stupid.
It had to be cast, literally there was a number.
Literally, you had
on
to
it.
stand there and cast it on yourself if you were hurt or not. So.
Yeah, and so now it's just, if you're using a two-handed weapon, then you're automatically going to raise that.
Right.
And they have perks as well, which is nice.
Yeah. You had a stat for healing magic, then you had a stat for destructive magic, and you just sit there and cast Fireball or whatever the fuck over and over and over and over, and finally you'd go up a level in the ability to launch fire at people, so it was kind of like that.
Another thing that I saw when, he goes into the village, and he, the communication, with the villagers, it doesn't zoom in on their face anymore. It's just from where he's kind of standing, and a list pops up, and you can just as you ask a question and as the dude's talking, you can just walk away without skipping through it. I don't know.
As long as it's not a fucking scroll wheel, I'm fine.
That's a list.
Yeah, they revamped that.
You know what I'm talking about? The whole Dragon Age / Mass Effect fucking wheel of bullshit. I hate that.
Positive.
I hate that.
Sarcastic, and then negative. Isn't that what it is?
I hate that.
Yeah, where it doesn't really give you verbatim, which you'll think you're saying one thing in Mass Effect, you think you're being you think you're in the middle, not quite being, and then you just come off as a total asshole because your character doesn't say what they have written.
Yeah.
Whatever the hell is written in that little box, that's exactly what I want my character to say.
I mean, I guess you could
follow.
watch the video.
I mean, your character sits there and he's paraphrasing what you want him to say, and it just comes off like a fucking schmuck.
But what I don't want them to do is since I don't think your character talks, right? It's just a list, and then they reply. I don't want them to make a multiple, a lot of different sentences, and then 4 of the sentences or 3 of the sentences give the same answer or response that the NPC is. You get what I'm saying? If they're using... Alright, there's 2 different sentences. Okay. Either one you pick, the NPC is going to respond the same way.
Right.
Oh.
I don't want it to be like that. I think if they're going to put...
I think that
writing is
talented enough. I don't think they're going to, be
unless
stupid.
it's for absolute story value, and the story's going that way one way or another, it will...
Well, I think the story would come out the same
way,
way, but I still don't think they would put the same piece of dialogue.
It won't be the same exact thing. I'm just saying it'll end up in the same direction, but it may take a different path on getting there.
Yeah.
It's not like you're going to piss off the NPC to the point to where they're going to, it'd be a game ender for you, and it's going to screw the entire...
Well, yeah, I mean, that's, the Radiant
did they say anything, I mean, maybe I'm behind, but did they say anything about breaking the game in Skyrim? Because I remember in Fallout, if you could basically piss off enough people, they'd be pissed at you, start shooting you, and then you just get stuck because you can't really do anything.
Oh, no,
possible.
A friend of mine killed every single NPC in Fallout 3.
Wasn't there unkillable NPCs in Fallout
Still
3?
managed to platinum the game. Yeah, there was a few, like, about one in each town that you would absolutely not be able to kill. You could knock them out, but then they'd get up and they'd still be pissed.
The same with Oblivion.
Like, they'd still pissed at you, but yeah. Same with
Well,
Oblivion.
My question:
I mean,
you break the game?
can't. No, I mean they fixed it. They have the Radiant AI or Radiant storytelling. It allows you essentially, for example, if you kill an NPC, the family will take it might be harder to get a quest from that guy. Or well, no, not that guy. He's dead. If you kill, like the butcher, then a family member will take over that business, and maybe his daughter's now the butcher, and you can still get the quest. It may be a little bit more difficult because you killed her father.
You may have to work to mend those wounds. But
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty cool aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also great how they sort of, without then sort of like in Mass Effect and Fable, I don't really like how you've got your blue meter and you've got your red meter, and when you're blue, you're good, and when you're red, you're bad. They've sort of, yeah, and I mean, I've heard it's like this in The Witcher 2, where they don't really show you. The game knows what you've been doing. The game knows if you've been going around and killing everything that moves, just wiping villages off the map. It knows, it keeps track of it, and it tailors the game based on that, but there's no way to let you know. And it'll also, and this falls under the same sort of thing, against, it's things of the game you don't really notice while you're playing, but when you hear it, you're like, oh, that's really smart. Is some quests, if you've gone and explored a certain dungeon and there was a quest that also took place in that dungeon, they'll actually switch that quest to a different place that you haven't explored. So it's the same quest, just in a different location. So you're constantly discovering new things, which I thought was great.
Yeah, like that whole blue-red meter thing has been done to death.
Yeah. I
Most recently, Infamous 2 and Catherine. You have a.
I mean, why though?
No, it's because people don't. People want to see progress.
They want to see progress.
They want to know if they're going down the right path or the wrong path. I'm not defending it, but I'm saying this is why people they want a clear, yes or no answer. Are they being good? Are they being bad? Especially if there are trophies involved, because people don't want to have to say, okay, be a good guy, and they're trying their hardest. They play for 100 hours and say, okay, where the fuck's my trophy? And now they have no clue where they made a mistake. So that's why people like the whole.
Yeah, and I think it was a few weeks ago we were talking about that. But I agree with Knight that it is tired, it's done. If you're going to have people make choices in a game, have them make real freaking choices. Like, instead of the blue meter, like, when you're nice to people, they do nice things back to you. And when you're mean to people, it may expedite towards your goal. And Knights of the Old Republic, this was a while ago. Sometimes you would be nice to someone, you would give some beggar money, and then he would just get mugged and they would take his money. So I was saying, I hate how it has to be one of those two options. I hate how a choice just can't have ramifications. They might not be good, they might not be bad, doesn't matter. I mean, that should be the next place that
Fallout, I think it was Fallout 3 when you're actually both Fallouts when you're on the good karma side, I guess. They did a little better in Fallout with the But I mean, people would come up to you and just give you gifts, like, here's some free shit. You're the savior of the city, whatever. Here's some shit. They would present you with presents and stuff. That's a pretty cool aspect. Yeah. And that, Bethesda did that shit too. So you never know.
Well, I also just like it when the only real ramifications are in cutscenes, whether you're good or bad. Like what they just said about Fallout. That's pretty cool when you actually see in-game moments like that, or when you're in Infamous and there are people cheering for you or whatever. But if you're doing that whole morality thing and it only comes across at a few select points in the overall story, I mean that's kind of a wasted opportunity.
The only thing though is, like, in Fallout, watching the NPCs, it was like a puppet show on acid. It was the NPC movements, speaking with everything was just horrible.
Well, I mean, come on,
yeah,
it's a huge game. I mean, you can't.
And that's what it was a turn off for me in Oblivion. I mean, it just seemed lifeless.
Yeah. And hopefully it doesn't come off like Two Worlds 2 did, where You'll be talking to somebody, and it'll be two different voice actors playing the same character. That game sucks so hard that they didn't even flesh everything out. You'll be talking to one like old lady, and she'll be talking like a 17-year-old chick for like the first two sentences, and then, well, you need to go over here, and then you need to see this. What the fuck? What the hell was that
I was
about?
just getting my jerk on,
And that was like a lot of the characters. You could tell they went back and tried to clean up a lot of that shit after they fired the initial voice casting people. It was a fucking abomination. So I doubt anything like that's going to go down in Skyrim. I doubt they'll even attempt anything like that.
That's pretty trustworthy.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, just real quick to wrap this one up, I just want to... Is there anything that you wanted to point out in the leaked video that you thought was amazing and crazy? Highlights from anyone that we didn't already mention?
I mean, they already talked about the slaying.
I mean,
I'll have to say everything I've seen so far has been vastly superior to Oblivion, and that's the level of improvement.
It should be, right? I mean,
It's not just a little bit better, it's like 100 times better, and that is fantastic.
the little thing that I liked, and it's just when they were talking, being able to look off the distance, and like I was thinking of like the Lion King, where it's like everything the light touches, like everything you see, you see that big old mountain that in any other game you wouldn't be able to go up there. It's just to look pretty. Well, you get to go up there. I mean, it really just adds to that they've detailed, you know.
So there are no invisible walls. That kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Right.
and it's not just they've detailed, you know, like flowers and whatnot, but it's detail on a larger scale.
So how do they cut off the environments?
Yeah,
like, do you just
I'm
hit
pretty
ocean
sure
or
there's going to
something?
be like a invisible
Well, yeah, there's a wall.
Did you guys ever play the original Crisis? Not
Yes.
Crisis 2, you know,
The
Yes.
original. I
Lost
played
in
some
New
of
York.
it. No, I didn't-
Crisis 2, Lost in New York. The first Crisis game,
I beat the
you,
first Crisis.
you could look on, you know, you could just be walking around and see the point that's the furthest possible distance away from you that's just so small on, you know, and you can go there. You could just walk right over. It'd take you like 35, 40 minutes, but you could go all the way over
And
there, you know.
the environment in the first Crisis wasn't open world. It was open. It was like
Are you talking about like Far Cry as well? They kind of did that.
Loosely, yeah, pretty much.
the first Crisis was like you moved kind of like to area to area. The environments were big, but it wasn't open world.
Well, I mean, you could go to any point in the game. But this is just like a lot of people don't like games like this because they get dropped off. And like I say, I hate to beat a dead horse, but Two Worlds 2 did a shit job of this. They pretty much just dump you in with no training whatsoever, a fucked up battle system. It's
You feel
impossible
overwhelmed?
to figure out how to cast spells. You're overwhelmed right off the bat, and they. You know, a game like Skyrim will work you into, you know, feeling like you're confident, feeling like you know where you're going.
Right.
You know, even if they don't give you a map, like pretty much Oblivion said, fuck a map, why do you need that? But still, you learn the lay of the land around where you're at, and then you start feeling that call of adventure and wanting to travel outside those boundaries and see what the fuck's around the next corner, and what could be over here. You know, and just the exploration of the whole thing is basically what draws people in. That you don't feel overwhelmed like you did in Two Worlds. Like that game just drops you off, and you have no idea where you're going, and you round a corner, and you get taken out by a fucking lion or some shit. You know, you just get mauled and killed. Like, and you know, at level 1, if you go the wrong direction, you're dead. That's just the way it is. So, I mean, this is the typical RPG to where you have that little safety bubble around you. You feel confident enough to go explore, to gain experience, to go different places. You know, they're not going to thrust you into a situation where you can't possibly, you know, not survive.
All right, so that sums everything up on this week's Skyrim little topic, right? Pretty much everything we wanted to talk about.
Pretty much that. I just want to say one more thing on Skyrim. Collector's Edition people, there's not a lot of those out there. If you're wanting to get this, you might want to go on and jump on that now.
If you have $150.
Yeah, it's $149, but you get a bitchin' statue.
And really messed up priority.
All the perks, a bitchin' statue, and like I said, there's not that many of them, but Amazon doesn't charge you till they ship, so go on and save up those wooden nickels.
All right, the next topic is Borderlands 2. And there's been some screenshots of that, and it's not It's got what? Vegetation in multiple colors, a lot of different colors now.
Oh, you mean
Yeah,
Border
a color
Worlds, right? Border Worlds. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, it's still listed as Borderlands 2.
Yeah.
Borderlands 2.
That'll change, I'm sure.
All right.
He's
I think
seen
the
it all.
Well, I think the biggest improvement over Borderlands 1 is actual color now, instead of just gray wasteland and the occasional yellow car. Like now, I think they're just trying to mix it up. Variety is the name of the game. And after coming off of Duke Nukem, maybe do a better job on this one.
You were coming off with Duke Nukem.
Oh, Gearbox, they developed Duke Nukem.
I don't know. It's like the Techland thing.
Possibly
Man.
with like.
It's like the Techland thing I've been bitching about. I don't know, man. After Call of
Gearbox
Juarez, Dead Island's looking pretty shit, and after Duke Nukem, I don't know, man.
Gearbox has made good games before, though. Before Borderlands. Like,
Well, I mean,
I love Borderlands.
they made all
What
the
was this one?
Brothers in Arms games, but those are tactical World War II.
Those are shit. So
What?
I mean,
Oh.
I like
sorry.
Borderlands because there's where the gaming is. It's oversaturated with wars so dark and gritty and look at us. And, there's so much pretense. Just about every game takes itself too seriously. Like I just like Modern Warfare 2, freaking jumping those snowmobiles over the thing, and then they're gonna play that off like it's all serious and stuff. You know what I'm talking about? Like it's just so ridiculous.
War never
Borderlands,
changed.
yeah, exactly. It's like, and Borderlands, just comes along and says, well, you get a gun, you shoot stuff. There's no pretense. It's just, it is what it is, and I love it for it.
Scooter damn near makes that whole game.
Yeah, because the
characters
didn't even talk, and did they really? Like in Borderlands 1?
they said their little quips, but nothing.
Yeah, just no pretense, no war. It's about finding guns, shooting the guns.
You can't. That's Borderlands 1. You can't really judge.
It's a giant treasure hunt.
Yeah, they're going to completely change the formula that was successful in the first game.
Oh no, they're going to bring back guns. They're going to say, "Hey, remember 1,000,000 guns?"
No, but they're not. At least I'm hoping it'll be shooting and not that modern warfare. Yeah.
If the first game was a giant treasure hunt, you're basically looking for all the treasure that's in the vault, and they find out at the end of the first game that that's not the only vault.
Spoiler alert, guys.
There are hundreds of vaults all over the universe, and that's where they're traveling to, is to loot the other vaults.
Sequel bait.
I'm just saying, that's the way they set it up at the end of the first one.
And it's honest about what it is. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Lots of guns and lots of shooting.
Well, when it comes down to it, the guns were kind of generic. They were not.
It's not like they hand designed all the million.
There was 10 different gun designs, and they just changed the colors or some shit.
No, there were differences. You could tell differences with stats.
Stats. That's it.
Yeah, it was I agree though. It was just kind of reskinned. They had a machine.
I've got a fucking shotgun that'll kill anything in the whole entire game, bosses included, with one shot. So how serious can you be with that?
Yeah, you get modded weapons. Obviously, people learned to do that in about a month.
Yeah.
All right. So, any final thoughts on the screenshots or Borderlands?
They look fantastic. I can't wait. I'll be all over that in 2014 when it hits.
It should
It
be
looks
great.
cool.
So,
Cool.
the next topic, and it was pretty big, I guess, for PC gamers.
Everyone now.
Well, everyone knows about it, but I don't know how many people are excited about it. It varies. But the new Counter-Strike was announced, and
Granddad, tell us what life was like before the internet. Well, we had these LAN parties, and we used to show up and pay $4 to sit there an hour and shoot each other in the face.
Well, I think Counter-Strike, obviously it's old, but I think they did something, that unique system in play that, maybe, Infinity Ward could learn from. Where basically everyone would start the game with a preset loadout, and as you went on, you would upgrade in game to different weapons and whatnot. And I mean, that adds a whole new level of tactical gameplay.
Yeah, Star Wars Battlefront sort of did that as well.
Yeah, okay, that's true. Battlefront did that.
I mean, it was afterwards.
Metal Gear
I think
Solid did it,
that's much better than what a lot of the shooters nowadays are doing, where who's ever prestige highest can just go make the best loadout and just rock everybody as soon as they jump into the map.
I think I was telling you.
I mean, I think Counter-Strike, if they do it well, it's definitely going to put it back on the map for more than just the hardcore PC guys, especially because now on consoles and whatnot. But the one complaint I have is that people are saying new Valve release or whatever, the next game. Everyone was expecting Half-Life 3, and then they say Counter-Strike, which Counter-Strike is overdue, yes, but I mean, Half-Life 3, how long has that been rumored? It's just kind of tiring.
Like I said earlier, don't forget about the whole Crysis thing. PC gamers loved it. They made Crysis 2. It was a piece of shit. Huge backlash.
I'm pretty sure you can trust Valve, the most reliable company in the gaming industry. I think Nyack said it earlier before we started the podcast. PC gamers unite, because that's exactly what PC gamers are pissed about. Like, Valve's abandoning the PC or whatever. They're just working on consoles now. And personally, I don't know why these PC guys get so pissed. I mean, as long as they're not being shortchanged, which Valve never shortchanges the PC. They always get free shit. I don't know.
Sounds like you want to suck Valve's Valve.
Anyways, yeah, I think Valve is a great company, and they don't screw over the consumer. And in my opinion, Counter-Strike looks like probably will be a great game. I bet money on it. Cause
the reason PC gamers are pissed is because PC gaming is pretty much almost dead.
Okay, I wouldn't go that far. I mean, with the MMO, they do have MMOs and mods and hacks.
Okay, if you're not playing World of Warcraft, guess what? You're fucked.
Well, I don't know. Even when Team Fortress 2, when they said that was free to play, like all the PC guys were pissed. It's like, oh, you ripped us off now, whatever. I mean, I don't want to sound like I don't want to stereotype people, but a lot of these PC guys, they get butthurt pretty easily. I don't know why exactly. I mean, it's kind of crazy. Enough of me about talking about Counter-Strike. McKinley, what are your thoughts on Counter-Strike?
I've never played Counter-Strike ever. Don't just keep. I mean, it was just never like okay. One, I was 7 in 1999, and then subsequent releases 2000, 2004. I think I was still playing the GameCube. I wasn't.
Resident Evil 0, bitch.
But you know how big it is, though, right? You do know it's.
Yeah, I know how big. I know it's.
I mean, even like you being that young, you never thought to try and go back and maybe try it out.
No.
Really?
No, because I mean, look. Here's my thing, and I get knocked for it a lot. I don't go back. If I'm reading a book series and I've read ahead, like I started ahead, I don't go back and watch. I don't go back and read the first book. If I'm watching it, if I start on the second season of something, I don't go back and watch. And I generally don't like really old movies because essentially everything they've done has been improved upon. Counter-Strike started it all, sure, but people have since 1999. I mean, making shooters relevant. Since 1999, people have taken the formula and improved it. I don't want to go back and essentially play a crappy version of what I've already played.
No, but I mean, I mentioned that it's not. A lot of people haven't implemented what made Counter-Strike great, and it is more of a hardcore shooter. So again, like you said, if you're into that whole modern warfare thing, you won't be.
No. So you're arguing that Counter-Strike holds up today?
I'm not saying it holds up today, but for a certain crowd, it's still played a hell of a lot, dude.
It's still a nostalgia factor for a lot of people.
No, not just nostalgia. There's always that game people love to go back to. That's one of them. It does have staying power. It has a million updates, etc. So I mean, it's not bad by any stretch of the imagination. Sure, it's not. It's obviously not great by today's standards, but you can't say it's just bad because it's old. I mean, there are things that have not been copied, or at least copied well to this day.
All right, but did they release a bundle? I bought the bundle when it came out. Valve published, right? And it came with like Data Feet and Half-Life 2 multiplayer.
Yeah.
Exactly. And it was like reworked. It was like a different version, right? That you had to buy. It was like 1.6 or something. I can't remember.
And you put it in there a bunch of updates.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which was, I guess, an improved version. And so that's my Counter-Strike story. And that was my experience because I played it for a couple of weeks. And I was like, hey, a new game came out. I'm
curious. I'm really curious to see how console gamers are going to take to it. I mean, assuming if you just go and assume that it's going to be kind of the same thing, except upgraded. I mean, I want to see the Call of Duty guys like, this is too gay, and just fucking forget about it. Because
it's air of superiority for people who, I use a mouse and a keyboard. I'm smarter than you. Like, really?
I don't know. It's not the mouse and the keyboard thing. It's the type of game it is. Like, it's just
I mean, it's Rainbow
One
Six.
Life.
They've got that on Xbox.
Life, you go in.
I mean, didn't they had respawn versions of Counter-Strike in different lobbies, right?
Yeah, but the one everyone played was the elimination. You'd go in every round, you'd respawn at the end, and you'd that's how all the pros played. That's just how the average players played.
I'm sure they're going to add respawn, and that's probably going to be a big part too nowadays, anyway.
All right, so end result, Valve can't screw up.
You want to know my opinion on Counter-Strike?
Go ahead.
My opinion on Counter-Strike is this, okay? If we already have enough first-person shooters, we don't need to be bringing shit back from the grave. And if we come up with one more franchise, I'm going to start taking fucking hostages. I swear to God.
Well, dude, okay, two things. One,
I'm so fucking sick of this shit now.
This franchise has already been up. First-person shooters have definitely died down since, 2008 era. I mean, all you really have now is Halo, Killzone, Call of Duty, Battlefield. I mean, probably no, but that's not really big.
It doesn't matter. It's just another cash grab. It's all about a fucking cash grab.
Oh, fuck. Valve doesn't do that shit. Yeah, and McKinley sucking Valve stick, whatever. It's bullshit. Everyone knows they're a great company.
Stink. I'm serious, dude. Okay, we're still drowning in first-person shooter titles.
We're drowning?
We're drowning.
Valve has never charged $15 for a fucking map pack. Alright, so you can.
I could do like a fucking 45-minute Scrooge McDuck.
Turning to one of those little fanboy bitch fights,
All the fucking. No, I'm just. It doesn't matter what your console is, man. Xbox, PC, PS3. We're drowning in fucking first-person shooters. Seriously, stop it.
And on that note,
fucking stop it already. Make something else. I don't give a shit if you make.
I would love to see like him in a bank and like, all right, here's my demands. Now, y'all gonna stop making first-person shooters, or we gonna have a problem.
Night Edric, dude. There are way more. Alright, yes. McKinley. There are way more way less first-person shooters than there are RPGs. You're not complaining about that.
I think we're pissing off the boss.
I apologize.
No.
You did this disgusted sigh thing. Like, these fucking assholes.
It's just, I don't know. It's just like
you don't agree.
Sometimes, I don't mind listening to you guys bickering back and forth. It's just, I'm just like, hey man, Dialog is not here. It's not going to turn into a fanboy war and everyone's going to be arguing.
I already called it. I said it was a fanboy bitch fight from the start.
It's not a fanboy bitch fight.
It's a fanboy bitch fight. Okay, it wasn't okay, I'll take off the fanboy. It was a bitch fight. It was you two going back.
Any argument's a bitch fight. As long as it doesn't involve McKinley. Oh, look at you bitches. So as soon as he's in it, we're having a discussion.
Alright, whatever. Alright, Night, you know what to do. Let's just end it here before...
okay, alright. People check out the QuakeCon footage of Skyrim. Also, check out the new screenshots that are up, that broke today. I believe it was today, for Border Worlds. Not Borderlands 2, that sounds lame. It's like Borderlands 2, The Reckoning. Fuck that. It's Border Worlds. Okay. Also, let's see. What else were we talking about?
The Counter-Strike. We talked about.
Yeah. Counter-Strike.
We were only talking about that like 5 minutes ago.
Alzheimer's.
Spec Ops,
okay, yeah.
Modern Warfare 3, Spec Ops.
Spec Ops, Modern Warfare 3, yeah. If you have more money than you care to fucking mention, go on and buy that shit. God damn first-person shooters. Counter-Strike, go and feel free to dig up that corpse and fuck it. And, pretty much. Check out the new articles that we have up on the site. As always, subscribe, comment, do whatever your thing is, and we'll see.
Phineas and Ferb review, read it, etc.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's actually a good review. Spencer put up a decent review for a children's game, so make sure you go in and read that. Join the site, sign up, comment. Okay, and we'll see you next week.